I will announce today, and I announced to my staff this morning, we've put a hiring freeze and a freeze on essential spending citywide effective this morning. And the reason is that we are in place. Yes, you'll want to write that down. Yeah. Nobody has this. This is a scoop. Nobody has this. Is that we have the city we're not in a crisis financially, but I want to make sure that we don't have a crisis. So if we put a freeze on hiring and a freeze on non-essential spending, then that will also help us make sure that we are building our rainy day fund, so to speak. We don't have an appropriate web presence. Our website is simple at best. We have contracted with a local firm to have our web page redesigned, but we also know that we need to have a digital quality, not just of what's there, but for businesses to be able to come in and be able to just as simple as online bill pay. That there are years that I was in business, we found if we made it easy for somebody to do something, they do business with it. Just make it easy for the consumer. Entice individuals that are operating in business right outside the city. It's become very convenient over the years to take advantage of the market of our area and then just locate right outside, and then we don't have anything that we ever have to pay. But guess what? When they do that, they don't have a world-class police department. It's not to say the sheriff's department isn't world-class, but they don't have 111 members of a police department. People question the price of something when they truly are questioning the value that they're receiving for the money. Part of my job is to demonstrate that the value that individuals are receiving from our services are well worth the cost of being in the city. But in order to do that, I have to demonstrate that we are being much more efficient in how we're going about doing things. Actually, let me use your... This is what was spilled into the Elk River. Elk River isn't nearly the size of certainly the Kanawha River or into the Ohio River. And actually, let's say this is the Elk River, yeah. This is the Elk River.
Have you guys practiced this?
Actually, well, what he saw is that he saw me ad-libbing earlier at the coffee meeting. It just, I hit on something that I thought, oh, this works. If I have a little bit of salt and I drop it into this, and this was full of water, that's really going to have a massive effect on this. If this goes into the Kanawha River, this side, and that comes in and it contaminates this water in the Kanawha River, you're going to have some effect on what's happening here, and you will taste what is occurring here. But if that comes into the Ohio River,
not that the Ohio River's a trash can.
if you drip this into the Ohio River, it's going to have a negligible effect. We're safe in Huntington because we're on the Ohio River. For 5 years now, the city has had a consistent paving program that has occurred. I went on to Huntington City Council in 2009. We were asked to increase the user fee to make sure that there was additional dollars that were going to paving. It went from $2 to $3, which meant $4.5 million was coming into the city coffers. At that time, the administration proposed, I think, $250,000. I might be off on this, but it was a pittance. They didn't propose as much with the user fee increase as had been spent in the year before. We on city council, I and others, advocated we have to have more. And in essence, over a 3-year period, we worked our way up to $1 million a year. For 3 years in a row now, we have allocated $1 million a year of paving. And what's occurring is that we aren't hearing the level of complaints about decayed roads that we were having before. Now, we'll go out right now and we'll end up seeing potholes. We don't have the potholes that are so prevalent that people have named them. We've addressed those issues, but potholes are a function of where we live. I'll show it to you. And it's an early warning application. It's rather than, frankly, I think universities around the country would be able to pick up on it. Right now, if there's something that is occurring on campus and they send a text out, if they do the heads up Huntington, then immediately a text would go out and say, stay in place, there's a shooter, and then be able to give some specific information. If I think like a 50,000 population city, then we're going to get events that are fit for a 50,000 population city. If I think that we're nearly 3/4 size population and we start presenting ourselves that way, then those types of acts start coming into the area. It was a great day, and the one thing I wasn't surprised about, because I've had an opportunity to encounter students. The students were asking real questions that I would get at any neighborhood association meeting. Why? Because the students live in the neighborhoods and they're experiencing those issues.